It's the High School Game of the Week. Brought to you by Flower Foods in Richmond. They guarantee you'll save on your grocery meat products. By Larry's Pharmacy. Improving health and wellness every chance they get. The Les Olson Company. Your business empowered. By Ludwinski Financial. When you need us, we're there. Locker 42 and the Logo Shop. We logo stuff. By Summit Creek Sinclair. Get your free loyalty card and save big. By Bridgeland Applied Technology College. Employment through training. By Lewiston State Bank. Established for your future. By Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning. Your York heating and air conditioning experts. By Preston Watts Collision and Glass. They do it right. And by Lite FM 103.3.
Coach, we're here today at Skyview Field. Coming off of a win from last week, how have the boys prepared to beat the Skyview Bobcats this week?
We've watched a lot of film and, let's try to get our timing down and to execute, make sure everybody knows what their assignments are. And they've been pretty focused this week. It wasn't a hard week to get them focused.
All right, so Mountain Crest is undefeated and Skyview is also undefeated. The stakes are high for both teams. In all honesty, Coach, is the team nervous at all?
Obviously there's some nerves, but I think they're more excited. I think both these teams, they know each other well. They've grown up together, and no one's gonna really trick the other team. We're just gonna have to go play and execute, and the team that does that the best will win.
All right. Well, good luck to you, Coach. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you.
Coach, stakes are high. Mountain Crest and Skyview. How are your boys feeling tonight?
They're excited. We all kind of hoped it would be like this at the end of the year, and here it is. We're here, and we're ready for this challenge.
Are your boys nervous at all for this game?
I don't think so. I don't think any more nervous than they've ever been. We prepared like we've always prepared, and these guys are ready to play. They're excited to play. They want this game to happen. They're not scared of this game at all.
All right, Coach. Well, you guys won your game last week. Mountain Crest won their game last week. Both teams are undefeated. Now tell me for Skyview, who should the crowd be looking at tonight?
I'd be watching the guys in light blue. I'd watch them all, because you never know. We got great kids that have worked hard, and every week somebody different steps up. And so that's who I'd watch, and I think we're going to see some fun things tonight.
It's true unity right there, folks. Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.
Mustangs come a-calling to Smithfield. Two unbeaten teams, two highly ranked teams, and it's winner take all for the Region 1 championship. So this is a title tilt, playoff seeding ramifications, and a fantastic night for high school football. Hard to believe it's week 10. This is the regular season finale, and this is KLGN Radio. I'm Brad Stone, John Newbold alongside, and we welcome you. What a way to start your football weekend. And I tell you, students started lining up at 1:30. When we arrived about 4:30, cars lined up on the street. It was a hubbub of activity. You should see it now. And you can catch, of course, all the action on the Valley Channel and also on CashValleyDaily.com beginning tomorrow. So we've got all the bases covered. Skyview and Mountain Crest, the 35th time. And boy, on papers, two explosive offenses, 40 points a ball game, two real good defenses. The Bobcats allow only 13 points a game. Mountain Crest right behind at 15. As far as sacks, well, Sackview High School 32. They get after you. And in last year's game, won by the Mustangs in Hiram by the score of 34-14. Max Christensen, number 88, had 5.5 sacks. So let's bring in John for his take. Good to see you, partner. And your insight on what you've seen so far, the build-up. We've got a lot to get to. Take it away.
Well, it's awesome to see the crowd. I mean, they're standing room only. They brought in stands to be in the north and south end zones behind the goalpost. Those are all filled. The regular stands on the east and west, they're full as well. You've got standing room only, great atmosphere. Cars line the roads going east and west, north and south. This is what it's all about. Both of these teams are playing at a championship level, and that's why this is for the Region 1 championship, Brad.
Mountain Crest won the coin toss, and they have deferred. So the Bobcats, led by quarterback, senior signal caller Garrison Beach, 29 touchdown passes. That's second in the state. Oh, and we want to wish him a happy birthday.
That's right, and a happy birthday to Bryce Mortensen. Had his birthday yesterday, so pretty interesting stuff. I think it's awesome, and it's exciting to see. And like we said, both schools have earned it. Both of the teams, their coaching staffs, the players. I mean, this is what it's all about, to have an opportunity to play for a region championship, and both of these schools have put themselves in that position. It just makes it that much more sweeter that it's a Valley rivalry.
And what great coverage in the newspapers. I mean, all the guys, the D News, the Salt Lake Tribune, the Standard Examiner, of course the Journal, Channel 5's here on their game night. I see an old friend, Rod Sundel. He and I go way back into the TV land, and it's just an electric atmosphere. And also, it's so cool to have 1987 remembered. That was when Skyview and Mountain Crest were in 3A. They played at Romney Stadium because of the huge crowd they anticipated. It didn't disappoint. Nearly 20,000. Ball game ended up 9-7 Mountain Crest for the state title. And so the Bobcats, unbeaten, and these two teams, John, this is the latest in a season. They've both been undefeated. We've got a lot of, we've relied on George Felt all season. You and he are tight, and he has furnished with a lot of information that we hope we can even have time for this evening.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting game, and of course, they are newcomers to 5A, newcomers to this new region in Region 1, both squads, so it should be an exciting time as Skyview will receive the football. We'll see if they can get out to that quick start that we talked about earlier.
And it's a pink out, raising money for breast cancer awareness. Heck of a sight. Bobcats, their socks are all pink. Mountain Crest in their white jerseys, orange pants, Guerrera. And a kind of a pooch kick. Fair cut.
Hey.
And he's bumped into number 5 of the Bobcats. Got it. That was Bryson Sitaway. Called for the fair catch and got it.
Well, if you can tell already, you can hear the Bobcat fans react to that. They were wanting a penalty flag as he called for the fair catch, but there's no flag there, so he must have been blocked. The Mountain Crest player must have been blocked into Bryson. But the little pooch kick, the Bobcats start at the 31.
All right, Beach in the gun. Mason Ty, the big running back. 4 wide, 2 right, 2 left. Mortensen, the USU, he's going to play for the Aggies. Mason Ty is tripped up. Heck of a play, knifing in with the stop. And that's number 35, and that's Cody Pope, 6 feet, 235.
Yeah, no gain on the play for Ty.
Beach with astronomical numbers, 67%, 2,600 yards, 29 touchdown passes, 7 INTs. In motion is Holbrook. Beach has it, rolls left, looks, fires over the head of Holbrook. Couldn't reel it in, so that's going to bring up 3rd and 10.
Yeah, the Bobcats, they tried Mason Ty off the right side the first play. Now they had Holbrook out in the flat, but then it was just overthrown by Beach on the rollout. Right through Holbrook's hands as he was backing up near the boundary.
Mountain Crest favors the 3-4 defense. They've got some good secondary players, and watch for Cade Christiansen. 4 picks. In motion is Morrison. Beach has it. Plenty of time. Goes long for Mortensen. Too far. He was double covered. Hall back there for the Mustangs. Also Christiansen. So a quick 3 and out.
Well, they had Mortensen, but Beach put too much on it. Maybe a bit too juiced up on that pass. He split the defender and got in between the safety and the corner, Bryce did. But the pass too long, and it falls incomplete at the Mountain Crest 35, so the Bobcats will have to punt.
Mason Ty will set up shop about his 17, and our first penalty of the ball game. Tonight's game on KLGN brought to you by Lewiston State Bank. They sponsor our player of the game, established in 1905 and established for your future. And so we have a timeout on the field, and we'll step aside. We'll be back in 30 on Lite FM. The Bobcats and the Mustangs, Friday Night Lights. And a heck of a crowd is assembled here. They've added extra bleachers, and boy, it is a dynamite sight. The weather, it's a little bit on the brisk side, but Mother Nature cooperating, and we want to thank you for joining us. Brad Stone and John Newbold with the call. Mason Ty with the kick. Hall and Thomas Back did a knee touch. Yes, it did. And so the Mustangs are going to get good field position after forcing that 3 and out.
Yeah, they said his knee touched it. Looked close, but that's what it is. As Mountain Crest player caught it, yeah, his knee did definitely hit. As we saw it, as he's down at the 37-yard line, so a 32-yard punt.
All right, Tanner Schwab, fine senior quarterback, 5'10", 69% completion percentage, over 1,800 yards, 22 touchdowns, 5 INTs. And he's got some guys who can catch that football and they can run it. And they're averaging nearly 40 points a game. In motion is number 15 for the Mustangs. Schwab elusive, turns it up, he's still going. Changes direction, brought from behind, brought down. Heads up play, I think that was...
Well, we have Jaden Thompson as number 7, but I thought that he would not be playing, but that's the number out there. I think it is Schwab, but he's wearing Bubba Thompson's number just to show that kind of respect to his teammate, Brad.
Okay, I thought it might be a little trickery.
Nah,
not in a game like this, all right. They could have alerted the broadcasters. We played 90 seconds. And so Mountain Crest will face a 2nd and 8. And here's the run, and he's brought down. Heck of a hit. That active linebacker, number 1, Riley Hatterley, in on the play. 3rd and about 5. Mustangs first possession. They're going left to right across your radio dial. Bobcats in their light blue jerseys, white pants, white helmets, pink towels, and pink socks. To end the regular season, 2 unbeatens going at it in Smithfield tonight at Hanson Field. Schwab throws, underthrew his receiver who was open. Too low, and so both clubs, John, start 3 and out.
Yeah, a little bit of nerves maybe, but the Bobcat defense, they got pressure on that first down, and we're able to get them in a 3rd and short, but you got to make sure Mountain Crest punts here, Brad.
All right, Phillips and McCray. Mountain Crest at their own 43-yard line. 9:45 to go, opening quarter. Towering kick. Phillips calls for a fair catch, bobbles it, has it, and tripped up shy of the 20. That could have been trouble.
Well, that was McCray back there, not Phillips, and he dropped it as he called for a fair catch, and then he dropped it.
Had those twin receivers back to get it for the Bobcats on special teams, so 9:37 to go.
Yeah, he was backing up. He tried to catch it over his shoulder, and as he did, he dropped it. Luckily, it took a nice bounce right back to him, and he was able to get up around the 20-yard line. They actually marked it at the 18.
So last possession, Beach with 0 for 2. Here's Ty into the interior of that stout Mountain Crest defense. And they get him down by committee for a short gain, if anything. Ty on the season, 590 yards, 5 yards per carry, and 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, he fell forward. He actually got marked at the 20, so 2 yards, but a short gain on that run play.
Both these defenses highly touted. Beach to throw. Pressured. He's flushed. They nearly had him. It throws. And the comeback route. Heck of an effort there by Mason Cook.
Yeah, Mason Cook came back. His route was past the 30, and he ran all the way back because he saw his quarterback was getting some pressure, and he goes to his knees and catches it for a short gain of 1. Beach starts the game 1 of 3 for 1 yard.
Mustangs for Coach Mark Wooten missing Bubba Thompson, fine two-way player. Tore an ACL in that victory against Northridge a couple of weeks ago. 3rd and 6, Bobcats at their own 22 as we move under 8.5 minutes. Skyview and Mountain Crest. A lot to play for tonight. Beach for his first carry, has some room, has a first down to the 30, Garrison Beach.
Well, they run that quarterback draw. They had 3 receivers to one side, 2 on the other, and it spread that Mountain Crest D up, and then they just went right up the gut for the first down. They mark it at the 31.
And tonight's game brought to you in part by the Les Olson Company, your business empowered. Trips to the left, to the near side. Catch by Holbrook, but that's a minimal gain. We'll call it 3 yards.
Yeah, DeMooney there for Mountain Crest on the tackle.
Fine two-way player. 6'1", a junior. 19 tackles on the season, couple of sacks, and impressive numbers catching and running the football. Beach faces 2nd and 6, 7:30. We're scoreless in Smithfield. Here's Mortenson's first catch, lunges ahead, headed to Utah State. Big announcement last week.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the Bobcats, after it looked like they were trying to go deep on the first possession, they're starting to just dunk it on these little 5-yard pass plays on comeback routes, and they're moving the football right now.
All right, second first down. Bobcats in possession. Beach in the gun, empty backfield. Garrison, good protection, fires in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. Good defense by the Mustangs.
Yeah, I think that was McCray. It could have been Morrison. It's on the east side of the football field, but he was running an out route out at the 40-yard line of Mountain Crest. It went right through his hands, had to climb the ladder. It was McCray, and it goes incomplete. Looked like Morrison was open shallow, and Garrison Beach went deep, and it goes incomplete.
Bobcats 9-0, Mustangs 8-0, both 5-0 in Region 1. Bobcats averaging 40 points a game. Mountain Crest only allows 15, so something has to give here tonight. In a winner-take-all. Beach pressured, heaves it, has a man too far. Couldn't get McCulloch.
Yeah, holding on Skyview is what the penalty will be in the backfield. Is I believe the Mountain Crest player Landon Weston got tackled by an offensive lineman there as he was putting pressure on Beach. So the holding penalty was actually, let's see, at the 43 was the line of scrimmage. So that ball is about 7 yards in the backfield, 6 yards in the backfield, and then it's a spot foul, so it'll be 10 more after that. It puts the Bobcats clear back at the 26. Big loss that time.
Tonight's coverage on Lite FM brought to you in part by Ludwinski Financial and also by the Logo Shop and Locker 42. Everything Aggies. Under 7 minutes, opening quarter. Great crowd, and Beach drew him offside. He's had the knack all season long, and it's happened an opportune times.
Well, when you're second and 26, every little bit helps,
It
right?
does. You don't want to give the Mustangs that great field position. 4 wide, 2 right, 2 left, tie the lone back. Beach retreats, finds Mortensen. Boy, they had great defense. I think that was Hall up from a secondary position. Number 1, Cyril Hall, active player. And boy, he's fast.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're Mountain Crest, though, you'll give Skyview those 5-yard outs. or hook routes because, I mean, when it's that long, then no problem when you tackle them like they did.
Clock running, 6:25, first quarter. 35th all-time meeting, Bobcats and Mustangs. Beach has it. O-line gives him time. Looking, now has to fire in desperation, out of bounds. Beach got hit, no penalty. 4th and long. So for the second time, we haven't seen much of this all year, John. Bobcats have to give it back.
Yeah, 4th and 8, and they go 2 possessions in a row where they'll have to punt. That's, like you mentioned, something we haven't seen all season.
And so Ty with his second punt. And back for the Mustangs, Hall and Thomas. Good snap. Tremendous kick by Mason Ty inside the 15, and it goes out there. Man, oh man, you got to get the yardage for us, John.
Yeah, I think it went out at the 11 or 10 yard line. He actually got a huge kick on that, probably his best one of the season. 54 yards, Brad, as it went out of bounds at the 10. Great punt, and just when it looked like Mountain Crest might get good field position, that punt saved the Bobcats.
I'll mention again, it's a pink out tonight. I want to thank Brian Grunig and Missy Stewart, everybody in the athletic department. They really had to do double duty this week. Included, trying to raise some much-needed money for breast cancer awareness. Here's the pitch to Mooney. Spins away, great effort. Durant in that backfield in a hurry, and then they brought him down. Number 2 in on the play for the Bobcats, and that's J.R. Martindale.
Yeah, Mooney was trying to get outside. He had to cut up. And I think Durant actually pulled off Mooney's like hand warmer thing because he grabbed something, and that's what he grabbed and threw it to the turf. But Mooney got a pretty decent gain when it looked like the Bobcats had strung him out.
Jake Pitcher from his left defensive end. Great pursuit to help bring Mooney down. 5:40. Opening quarter. We're scoreless in Smithfield. Mountain Crest at their own 19. Schwab, pitcher has him in his sights. Runs out of bounds. Gained some yardage.
I'm looking, it was close to the sideline, see for a late hit. I could hear the Mountain Crest fans over there making some noise that they thought it was, but I guess it's not, as he is knocked down at the 19.
Watch for number 6, Dallas Neiman. He's the guy who caught that Hail Mary that beat Roy when Schwab put it up there. A miraculous finish to that ball game. And then Skyview had one. Beach to Mortensen on a tip against the Royals. And we have a timeout. So with 5:27 left, we're in the first quarter. No score. With John Newbold, this is Brad Stone. Stay right there. We're back right after this. The Bobcats, the Mustangs, regular season finale. This is week 10 of the high school football season. Both these teams are headed to the playoffs. The winner of tonight's game will have the number 1 seed out of Region 1. Roy will be 3rd, Fremont 4th. 3rd and long, Schwab guts away, penalty marker, we could have a hold. He's run out.
Yeah, and that penalty marker, if it is a hold, it's in the backfield way back there, and the head referee, the head official threw it, and it's a spot foul, remember, so it'll put him inside the 10 if it is indeed a holding penalty.
Yeah, both offensive lines will be put to the test tonight with this aggressive pass rush on both sides.
Well, Schwab did a good job. He got the yardage, got out past the markers. Would be a first down for Mountain Crest. We'll see what the call is.
They're going to mark that down to about the 5-yard line. So that's going to bring up a long distance situation. Got to be careful here if you're Tanner Schwab and company.
Well, the thing is, if you're Skyview, if they do throw the ball, you got to make sure that you don't get a pass interference call.
They spread him out, bring Fuller in motion. Schwab rolls, he's in the end zone, he's pressured, heaves it up, it could be a safety.
It could be a safety. There's a penalty marker in the end zone. If that's holding, that's an automatic safety as Colton Durant got pressure up the middle. We'll see. The penalty marker is in the end zone. We'll see if that's where the infraction, if it is indeed a hold, was taking place there.
Yeah, I think on Durantula.
Well, Durant got in there.
That is a safety. Yes, sir. Bobcats on the board.
So the holding penalty in the end zone, that means it's a defensive 2 points. It's a safety. So the Bobcats, I think it's considered a sack, but I'm not sure. So we'll just put that it was a hold. But that's a 6-yard penalty. It happened in the end zone. 2-0 Skyview.
And they're going to get the football back.
Yes, Mountain Crest will get the free kick from, I believe, the 20-yard line. They can either have the tee or they can punt it. Usually teams will just kick it with the tee, but 2-0 Mountain Crest, or Skyview over Mountain Crest.
We've got Colton's parents right in front of us, the Durants, and I'll tell you what, they are happy. And they've that fine number 72, Durantula. What a career he's had for the Bobcats. 5:14 left to go, opening quarter. Bobcats draw first blood thanks to their defense on a safety. Tonight's game on Lite FM, brought to you in part by Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning in Logan, your licensed York dealer. Save on new construction or a retrofit. Call 752-7272 for more information. Guerrero will kick at the Mountain Crest 20, so the Bobcats should get good field position here. After having a couple of punts, we double check the yardage on that tie punt. Give it 49 yards for number 15. Guerrero is a good kicker, plenty of leg there. Fielded and bringing it up. Nice move across the 40-yard line. Bobcats are going to be in good field position.
Yeah, that's huge because Guerrero would have put that in the end zone if it's just a kickoff, but because they're kicking from the free kick, he gets up to the 40-yard line, 42-yard line to be exact. So the Bobcats will take over there, but the thing is they haven't been as accurate moving the football as we've seen the past week. So the Bobcat offense, the defense did their job. Can the offense get rolling?
Phillips on the return. Here's Mason Ty, near side, strings it out. Good gain, might have 7.
Yeah, I think he's going to have 6 or 7 as he came out to the wide side, and you can see the Bobcats offensive lineman pulling with him, just blocking. Mountain Crest did a pretty decent job of stringing that out, but Ty in his frame got upfield, gets to the 48. 6 yards is where he stepped out.
And the Ty family elated this week when Southern Utah offered Mason a scholarship. Has to be a big thrill. And last week, Bryce Mortensen committing to Matt Wells and the Aggies.
It's pretty good stuff. And of course, the other Bobcats, Colton Durant's got some people looking at him. Has some offers as well. And so does, I lost Max Christensen, excuse me. Air Force has offered Colton Durant, and then Christensen has Air Force, Nevada, and Wyoming, as far as we know, as players that have received some offers. So good stuff for the Skyview Bobcats.
And schools have got to be looking at number 10, Garrison Beach. His fine career at Skyview and hit the numbers, the leadership. Outstanding. Second in the state in touchdown passes with 29. And his counterpart, who's played one less game, Tanner Schwab, is right up there too with 22. So we have 2 of the state's best quarterbacks here. 2 unbeaten teams. And again, the excitement, the build-up, something else. Well, and it's been great to see.
Yeah, both teams, you're talking about the top 2 teams in offense, pass, or in points scored and points allowed in this region. I mean, that's why they're playing championship football. That's why they're in this championship game for the Region 1 title.
Well, we have a stoppage. John, how about some stats? Throw us.
Well, right now I've got the Bobcats total offense at 36. Mountain Crest I have at 10. And passing the ball, Beach is 4 of 8 for 18 yards. And I'm actually looking on the social media, and I guess they called intentional grounding on Schwab is what the other media are putting out there. So that safety came from an intentional grounding, not a holding.
All right. It's a great thing, isn't it? And so tonight's game, Lite FM from Smithfield. It'll be interesting to get the numbers on the official attendance, extra bleachers. And I tell you, getting out of here is going to be quite the adventure, because I haven't seen anything like this in quite some time. A playoff feel to it. And it's fantastic to see the showing of support, and this is big time stuff. And we're glad to be a part of it, bringing it to you on KLGN Radio. 2nd and 5, Bobcats in good field position. Beach, short throw, Holbrook made a move. They hold him short. Good defense and a great tackle by Cyril Hall, number 1 of the Mustangs.
Yeah, he maybe just got across the 50. It's one of those things. No, they mark it right at the 50, 2 yards on the pass play, but they went to the short side of the field, the Holbrook, as Mortensen was downfield blocking.
Mortensen, one of the great receivers in the state, the Sky Bison. 59 catches, 15 touchdown receptions. Here's Ty, near side, made a move, got pushed back.
Yeah, he had enough. He's right at the sticks. I believe he's got the first down, but great hustle by the Mountain Crest Mustangs as they wrapped him up and then threw him back. But I think his momentum got him just enough to get the first down, as it's across the 50 to the 48 of Mountain Crest. And we'll see if they measure or just give the first down. They did mark it a first down, Brad.
Mason Fiafia, one of the stalwarts along that front line for Mountain Crest, number 73. He goes 5'10", 245. Demler's a force as well, and active linebackers. Tuckett, Pope, and that was Cody Pope in on that play. He goes 6 feet, 235. So they're solid, allowing only 15 points a game.
Well, there was a big delay before when the referees were talking to the Mountain Crest staff, and then Coach Ander just had them talking to him. So I'm not sure what the discussion's been about, but something that they needed an explanation for in a big game like this, Brad.
And so it has been a long quarter. Already 7:30, and we've got 4:30 left to play. Bobcats in Mountain Crest territory. They run tie again. Tough sledding, I'll tell you. This Mountain Crest D-line, tough to move out of there for the likes of Wes Anderson, Colton Durant, Barry Hill, and the 2 Tallulah brothers.
Yeah, Ty got 1 yard. I don't even know how he got 1 yard. Mountain Crest doing a good job of bottling up the run game of Skyview.
Like we talked about, Mustangs want to shorten the game. They're making it difficult, to say the least. Incomplete pass over the head of Morrison. So Garrison not sharp on his accuracy so far.
Yeah, well, you got to credit Mountain Crest. They're getting a lot of pressure on Beach, and Beach has either been flushed out and had to throw off his back foot, or he's just sailing. When he does have time, he's sailing it. But that internal clock that a quarterback has, because the pressure has gotten him throwing, and so he's throwing high on a 3rd and long here.
This reminds me of the Roy game. Garrison fires, Mortensen has it, but he's going to be short. Mountain Crest, tight coverage. That's going to bring up 4th down. We'll see what Coach Ander opts for here.
Yeah, that's a 5-yard gain to the 42.
I think they're going to go. Of course, Beach can certainly punt it from that formation. Mountain Crest stacks the line.
Yeah, he tried to hard count, and you could see the Mustang D line. They flinched, but they didn't even come across.
2 left, 2 right. Ty the lone back. Garrison looks over to the sideline. 3:10 opening quarter. Ty shifts. Garrison has it. Here's the kick. It's going to hit at about the 14-yard line, and they're going to get it low and dead inside the 10. Effective punt. Good special teams coverage by the Bobcats.
Yeah, the Bobcats were probably one count away from getting a delay game. The back judge was counting, but they punted away and get it inside the 10.
So next week, round 1 of the playoffs, both these teams will be there. The winner of this game will have home field. So will the loser of this game. Watching that K-Jazz game last night with Steve Brown and company. Bingham blanking Brighton 30-0. The Miners going to have a big say in how this all shakes out. Little play fake into the line. Bobcats smell that out. Durant and also 25, Stockton Bowman said,
Yeah, Fuller up the middle couldn't get anything going as the Bobcats push him back for maybe a short gain. They do give him 1 yard to the 9.
So Bubba Thompson, a fine runner for him, also one of their active linebackers, injured in the Northridge game and unavailable tonight. So the Bobcats, 2nd and 9. Schwab under center, senior quarterback. Fakes, he's hit, throws it to Hall, who makes a catch, skips out of bounds for a Mustang first, I do believe.
Yeah, that Riley Jensen talked about the timing and accuracy that Schwab had, and that's what makes him such a great quarterback, and that's what he did right there. He put it right on the numbers. As he got cut in half, the Bobcats hit him, Christensen did, but great pass play and a first down for the Mustangs out to the 18, 9 yards on that play.
Crowd into it. No question about that. 1st and 10 Mustangs. Handoff, I think that's DeMooney. And they stack him up, but he still churns. Might have 3 or 4. Max Christensen in on the play, among others. Under 2 minutes, tonight's game on Lite FM, brought to you by Preston Watts Auto Body and Collision, 2 locations, Logan and Smithfield. And thanks to Summit Creek Sinclair, fine sponsors of Skyview football. To end the regular season, who could have asked for more? Handoff to Mooney, broke a tackle, made a nice move. He's got a Mustang first down.
Well, I'll tell you what, DeMooney's breaking tackles. He broke at least 3 or 4 there, spun out of it. Great job. DeMooney tried to go inside, bounced it outside with his athletic ability, and then he spun out of a tackle of Martindale and McCray, and then finally wrapped up and knocked down by Bowman of the Bobcats, but not after he got 7 yards and a first down to the 30.
Mustangs started this drive inside their own 10, a couple of firsts as we approach the 1 minute mark. Friday Night Lights from Smithfield. Schwab gives it over to Fuller, turns the corner. He's knocked down, but that's going to be close to another first down. Court Fuller.
Yeah, he got the edge. The Bobcats couldn't wrap him up. He's knocked out. They're going to mark him right at the 40, so that should be a 10-yard run and a first. Line of scrimmage was at the 30. He got to the 40. That's the longest run of the night.
Nice block by number 82, Cretan Folger. That helped allow Fuller to get that corner and get a first down. That's the 3rd on this drive. That has now reached the Mustang 40. Fuller, good blocking. He's tripped up. And that's number 2 for the Bobcats. J.R. Martindale from his outside backer position.
Yeah, 6 yards, and right now Mountain Crest is winning in the trenches. That battle, Brad, that we talked about in the pregame of the trenches. This defensive line does such a good job. Coach Johnson and Skyview, I believe. So they're going to let the first quarter end. It's not a timeout.
And so the intentional grounding in the end zone resulted in a Skyview safety. Bobcats will take a 2-0 lead. And that's in the books after the first quarter. We're back right after this timeout. Stay where you are. Short run by Court Fuller of the Mustangs. First play of our second quarter here on the home of the Bobcats. This is Lite FM, KLGN. So the Mustangs have it out to their own 48-yard line. Again, back inside their own 10. They've done a great job to get some distance. 2-0 Bobcats. Two unbeaten teams. The rankings, winner of this claims the Region 1 title outright. Schwab goes long, way over the head of the intended receiver. He hit the turf for his efforts. Max Christensen.
Yeah, Christensen was fighting through that block. Looked like he was going to get there and knock the ball free, but then at the last second, it was just incomplete. He just got blocked out and around the quarterback. So it looks like Mountain Crest is setting up for a punt. But if you're Skyview, you got to hold your water, like they like to say, and make sure you don't jump across or run into the punter if they indeed do punt.
And so Alex McCray, about the 25. Pretty good kick. Fair catch. And he's bumped. A little incidental contact.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know the rule in high school, but he was inside that halo in college. That would have been a penalty. There's a penalty marker back at the 30-29 where the punt was. So is that going to be a running into the kicker? Let's see. The punt was about the 22-23 yard line. We'll have to see what the call is back here. They're talking to Mountain Crest. Maybe Mountain Crest will still retain possession.
That would be a big sequence. 35th meeting between these two. Bobcats have won the last two handily. And don't forget the playoffs start next week. We'll be with you every step of the way.
Oh, it's a legal formation or a false start, but they declined the penalty the Bobcats do, so the punt will stand at the 23-yard line.
And first quarter stats, John, and you're taking what you've seen so far.
Well, I had Mountain Crest 48 and Skyview with 46 at the end of the first. So you're talking about an even game, and really it's just one penalty that was the intentional grounding that gave the Bobcats the 2 points. So the Bobcat offense hasn't gotten into their groove.
No, they have not. This is a ball club that averages 290 yards a game passing, 164 on the ground. Interior run, that's more like it. Mason Ty, good blocking up front by the O-line, and he is close to a first down, might have it.
Yeah, he had a good head of steam. He busted up through there to the 33. They mark him for 10 yards. So the Bobcats got tripped up, but he got the yardage.
And he gets it again, and this time the Mustangs would have none of that. No, sir. Number 32 in on that play for the Mustangs, Jacob Nelson.
Yeah, they tried to go the same play to the right side. They actually lost a yard back to 32.
Second and 11. 10:45 to play, second quarter. 2-0 Skyview. You're just joining us? Yeah, they got a safety. That's been it. The defenses have been the star of the show. In motion far side is Holbrook. Beach going long for McCray. Garrison just can't get it. He's, of course, you can imagine the adrenaline and the big stage like tonight, but way over the head of McCray.
Well, the official said that it's just good defense that time. It looked like they were jostling for position and incomplete. McCray's arm was back. He just couldn't get two hands in front of him. Good defense that time. I believe it was DeMooney out there for the Mustangs.
So, trips near side, two receivers left. Beach fakes it, runs. He's knocked down, minimal gain, maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah, got up to the 35, maybe the 36. So 4 or 5 yards as Beach ran. They tried to spread him out again. He had 10 yards earlier on a quarterback draw. That time, nothing doing. As the Mustangs wrap him up at the 36, it'll be a 4-yard gain.
Chris Tuckett, number 14, cleaned that up. The defender hit Beach low around the ankles. Ty in for another kick. Last one was 49 yards. This one is shorter, hits at the 30, takes a Skyview bounce. Now it's picked up at the 15. That could have been trouble. And they get him at about the 12 or 13.
Yeah, there's a Bobcat down at the end of that play, but the Mustangs, they had a miscommunication, the two backs back there, and the ball bounced past, and then he went to pick it up. So, and he got wrapped up and knocked down around the 12, and that's where it will end up. So the punt goes 52 with the bounce, Brad.
And so the Mustangs get it back. They're close to their own goal line again. But the last time Schwab and company took it out past their own 40.
Yeah, well, the Bobcats definitely have had the better field position, but they don't have much to show for it, as the Mustangs are doing a good job on defense.
And so far, Mountain Crest holding their own in the trenches. Schwab rolls right. Pressured, heaves it long and out of bounds. He was under duress. They had him in their sights.
Yeah, he's 1 of 4. Schwab has started the game. 9-yard pass play to Hall is all he's got.
9:38, second quarter.
Yeah, the one thing with Mountain Crest, that's part of their plan. They roll the pocket and they do a great job. But the Skyview defense, just like the Mountain Crest defense tonight, they've been up to the challenge, and both defenses playing very well tonight.
Locker 42 was looking for 42 outstanding youth. Encourage you to go online and get the rundown, locker42.com. 2-0 Bobcats. DeMooney breaks it, first down Mountain Crest. Boy, that's a tough run. Max Christensen there to stop him, but not before DeMooney picks up enough yardage.
Yeah, 13 yards to the 25, his longest run of the night. 4 carries, 29 yards.
He goes 6'2", 2 1/4. He's only a junior. BYU and USU looking at him as a linebacker. This kid's got game, I'll tell you that. Averaging 6 yards per entering tonight. Player in motion. Here's the run. Court Fuller. That's about 5. Very impressed with what Mountain Crest has brought to the table tonight.
Yeah, you knew that they were going to, and both these teams and coaching staffs know each other well. They have what their tendencies would be, but the Bobcats right now need a big stop to get that ball back. They just can't get anything going on offense when they do get the ball.
Coach Andrew in a good game. His take, hey, it's like a heavyweight fight. And so far, it's a draw. Good play there. Hatterley up from the linebacker position. I think a penalty might have come in late.
No.
Maybe not.
Yeah, it's hard to tell through the glass here, but I think he gained 1 yard to the 33. It'll bring up a 3rd and short. Can the Bobcats hold?
Schwab can certainly run the football. Last year against Skyview, he was 21 of 32 for 157 and a touchdown. But double-digit sacks for Skyview. Max Christensen, number 88, had 5.5. But tonight, the Mountain Crest line is doing their job. DeMooney, he's hit, falls ahead. Depends on where they mark it. Hatterley in there and Christensen. Boy, pardon me, that was Maiden, 52. They had a great push.
Yeah, Maiden flew through there on the I formation, hit the running back at the 30, but DeMooney fell forward to the 36-yard line, 3 yards, and the first down for Mountain Crest.
7.5 to go, second quarter. Bobcats up 2-0. Schwab under center. DeMooney, and he is rocked. Colton Durant said, that's enough. stopped him dead in his tracks for a loss of yardage. That, and boy, the Durant's right in front of us, elated.
Well, maybe it will wake the defense up. They've been playing good, but that's the first negative play that the Bobcats have had as they knocked DeMooney back at the 34, or he was in the backfield really quick.
They call him Durantula, number 72, and he is a load. He brought the lumber. Schwab to throw. They've got that set up for Fuller. Great blocking, broke a tackle, has a Mountain Crest first down.
Yeah, great play call by the Mountain Crest offensive staff as they called that play, the throwback screen. They let Christensen come off the edge untouched, and they had that set up perfectly with a couple of blockers, and Fuller just weaved his way to the 48-yard line. 14-yard pass play, the longest pass play for the Mustangs.
Mountain Crest again moves it out of deep in their own territory. This has been impressive. 6:15 to go. We're in the second quarter. Fast-moving quarter. High formation. Here's the pitch. Court Fuller strings it, now cuts up. Knifing in was J.R. Martindale. Couple of yards for the Mustangs.
Yeah, the Bobcats did a good job, but that just shows you the push the Mustangs are getting up front, Brad, in the trenches, because that, even though it's a pitch play, they're getting downfield because that was strung out, but all Fuller had to do was cut up, and Skyview did what they needed to do to get him back inside to where the rest of the defense is, and he still gets across the 50.
Mountain Crest chewing up the clock. We talked about that in a pregame show. Alla Roy, keep Beach and company on the sidelines. That is a big advantage. And they stop the runner there. Durant once again.
Yeah, Durant, also Hatterley there for the Bobcats as they hand it off to Fuller right at the 50. It's Hatterley and Durant. Knock him at the 50. A loss of one, but it brings up a big third down, Brad.
We haven't called Dallas Neiman's name yet. They've got other guys as well. Schwab in the gun. 3rd and 8 at the 50. Throws. Has to Mooney. That's a flag on McCray. Hit him early.
Well, I guess when you're McCray, you go and do that just because you don't want to give up the touchdown, but a great route by DeMooney up the seam and a great throw right on the money, and McCray knocked him early. That was an easy call by the official.
So that's going to put the Mustangs in business. They're going to mark that off. Big play there, remember it. 4:52 to go, 2-0. But the Bobcats are backed up now. This has been a time-consuming, methodical march for Coach Wooten's offense. They brought a great contingent from Hiram. They're liking this, and the Skyview faithful a little nervous. Twin backs. Schwab throws incomplete, and he ended up on the seat of his pants. Jake Pitcher said hello.
Yeah, Pitcher came off the edge and just buried Schwab as he threw the passes. He's just trying to loop it over out of a back. The back just came out of the backfield, slipped out into the flat, and just overthrew him incomplete.
I'm going to stick around for our post-game show afterwards. We'll be joined by Coach. And he usually brings some special guests. Bobcats winners, we'll be talking to some players. That's going to be fun. Senior night tonight, 30 of them were honored. It's quite a scene with their parents prior to kickoff. Schwab under center. 2 backs. Here's DeMooney. They stop him short. Good defense by Skyview.
Yeah, it gets him up to the 31-yard line, a 4-yard gain, but what it did was it makes it 3rd and manageable instead of 3rd and long if you're Mountain Crest. But the Bobcats knocked him down. They mark it at the 31, so another big 3rd down for the Mustangs.
Who have a good kicker in number 8. Luis Guerrera, 7 field goals on the season.
Yeah, right now you're looking about a 46-yarder though.
4:05 to play. Here's Fuller. boy, he was nearly cut down by pitcher, and they get him short. J.R. Martindale.
Yeah, pitcher back in the backfield could have been a big loss. Instead, not pitcher, but Martindale comes up, makes a huge hit, knocks him sideways. Actually a loss from the 31 to the 32, so it'll be loss of yard. Bring up a long field goal if they do attempt it here, or are they going to go for it?
I think they're going. No, here's Guerrera.
Okay, they're on that right hash. This is lining up for a 48-yarder.
3:25 to go. Bobcats up 2-0. It's low. They might have deflected that. Is that Durant?
Yeah, if anyone got a hand on it, it didn't look like it. It would have been Durant that got a hand. He was in the backfield. I just think it came out of there when he kicked it. I think it just came out of there wrong. I don't know if Durant got a hand on it, but he would have been the Bobcat to do it. He busted through.
Durant, our early candidate for player of the game. Bobcats dodge one there. So they'll have it at their own 20. But Mountain Crest has moved the ball better. And they've, gone toe-to-toe. 2-0. And both clubs average about 40 a game. These defenses living up to their billing, showing their mettle. In motion, our first look at number 23, Mason Ty, the big fella, nicknamed the Tumbler, and he tumbled for about 2.
Yeah, just off the left side for the Bobcats, and just gained a couple.
Just over 3 minutes to play in this 35th all-time meeting. First year in Region 1, Bobcats picked to win it. And the Mustangs, after a 4-8 season, a lot of people think the most improved team in the state. And I'll tell you what, they're playing lights out tonight. Great fake by Garrison. He's rolling. He has all time. Tremendous coverage. Throws it. It's caught. The Sky Bison Bryce Mortensen.
Yeah, Mortensen was going deep, Brad, and then he came back in and had to come back and make that catch as Beach was rolling out, and it gets up to the 40. That will probably be the longest play, 18 yards for the Bobcats tonight.
So Bryce, his first catch of the game, headed to play for Utah State. Play action pass. Garrison heaves it, has a man, it is caught! The Bobcats, tremendous catch. Did you get a number?
I think it was Holbrook, but I don't. Yeah, that's Holbrook. As it gets inside Mountain Crest territory to the 24, a gain of 36 yards on the pass play.
For the folks in the TV truck having some monitor problems, since we're close to half, you can send somebody up to the booth. That would be appreciated. 1st and 10 Bobcats at the Mountain Crest 24. Beach gives it up, and Ty, boy, they sniffed that out, pushed him back. That'd have been a loss of a couple. Big play, pass to Mortensen and then to Holbrook. These 5 receivers, quite a core for number 10. And he spread the wealth this season, I'll tell you that much.
So it was a 2-yard loss back to the 26.
Bobcats would love to put it in here. They've got a good kicker as well in Erickson. Near side in motions, Holbrook. Beach rolls right, pressure. That's going to be a hold. Throws it, incomplete. They're going to bring this back.
Yeah, and the bad thing, Brad, the line of scrimmage is the 26. It's a spot foul I'm holding. The flag is actually at the 34. That'll be 10 yards back. It will send him back to the 44. That'd be a huge penalty, and it looks like that's what it may be. As he threw the pass downfield, eventually down around the 10-yard line, it went in and out of the hands of Bryce Mortensen.
Lauer Foods in Richmond. Think Lauer's for all your pre-cooked meat products. Oh boy, yeah, that makes me hungry. Also, Bridgerland Applied Technology College. Just a couple of our fine Skyview High sponsors here on Lite FM. Brad Stone and John Newbold, thanks to our producer back at the Radio Ranch, Diana Young. 1:11 to go, 2-0 Skyview. Pushed all the way back to the Mustangs, 44. Holbrook in motion near side. Beach with a go, line gave him time, throws, and it's caught, and he is put down with authority, and that's number 31.
That's Cody Olson.
Mustangs.
That's Cody Olson. Great wrap up and throw down by Olson. So the catch complete, was that Morrison? I think it was Morrison at the 35. So it's going to be only a 9-yard gain. The clock continues to run closer to half.
Under 40 seconds, 2-0 Bobcats in motion. Far side now is Holbrook. See what they can do. Garrison trying to find a man. Good coverage by the Mustangs. Comes near side, McCray. They're going to rule it a catch. McGrazer reeled that in.
Yeah, a short gain. He went through all the different receivers through his progression, and then Beach just had to throw it to the outlet, which was McCray, and he gets out of bounds to stop it at 29 seconds.
See if he might try to go to the end zone. Give Mountain Crest a lot of credit. Love their scheme. That's been the problem for Beach. He hasn't found open receivers.
Yeah, he had time that time, but he had to go through his progression because nothing was open deep.
Trips left. It's 4th and 12, so Erickson's got the range, but I think, well, we'll see what Coach Andrew decides. Timeout on the field here at Hanson Field in Smithfield. 2-0 Bobcats, and we're back in 30 seconds. The Bobcats and the Mustangs for the Region 1 title to end the regular season. What a crowd. This site is unbelievable. If you get a chance to check out the replay on the Valley channel, also at CashValleyDaily.com. You're going to be impressed with the showing. The fans support both sides.
Well, I'd watch for a corner route right now. That's what the Bobcats had gone to on 4th down in the past, and they've hit Holbrook or McCray.
Beach to throw, fires, sliding catch Holbrook, and they're going to rule it. Well, that's close. Going to have to look at this on the monitor. They say incomplete. Sliding catch, I think
it did. It hit the turf. It definitely bounced off the turf. Holbrook tried to get it, but it was incomplete for sure as it bounced off the turf into his arms. The right call by the umpire as he came back and made that, then said incomplete, but it definitely, seen it on the replay, was incomplete. He had his man. Beach just put it a little bit too short. A sliding catch as it falls to the turf with 23 seconds.
This Mustangs defense has been up to the challenge. They've got to feel great. And they've taken control of this game as far as the clock is concerned. Schwab to throw, has a man. Fuller broke a tackle, has a first down, has more. He's still going. Heck of an effort. Mountain Crest coaches across the way, they want a timeout. My goodness, Fuller. He would not be denied.
Well, they got it to midfield. Remember, in Roy, they hit that 44-yard, what was it, Hail Mary against Roy. Fuller, a great job from the 27. He gets all the way up to the, let's see, 45, 46, 47-yard line as they called timeout. So 20 yards, and really it was just a little pass of about 5 yards, and he did the rest.
Bobcats and the Mustangs here on Lite FM. We've got a timeout. Mustangs over talking things with Coach Mark Wooten. The Bobcats with Coach Craig Ander and John Newbold. Stats, thoughts?
Well, right now it's the score indicates how close it is, but I think that other than that last drive for Skyview, they haven't had anything going, and Mountain Crest has pretty much controlled the ball game, in my opinion. They had the intentional grounding, and that's the difference in the game, really. Both teams even. But I think that Skyview hasn't come out with the same energy that Mountain Crest has tonight, Brad.
And you just feel momentum favors Mountain Crest right now.
Yeah, if they don't try the deep ball yet for the Hail Mary, look for some short out patterns, and they'll want to get out of bounds quick. I don't believe they have a timeout. Maybe they've got one left. No, they're out. So they'll try to get to the corner, get to the edge, and get out of bounds, or just go deep here.
Mooney's had a heck of a game running the football. I've been impressed with Court Fuller. Schwab's a proven signal caller. This offensive line is held up against the spotted Skyview defense. Schwab under center, rolls right, pressured by Durant, throws it out of bounds. That'll be with 7 seconds to go.
Yeah, he rolled out, was looking for, I think, a short out or something to stop the clock, but couldn't get it with 7 seconds.
Tonight's coverage on KLGN brought to you in part by Lewiston State Bank. Locations all across the valley, established in 1905 and established for your future. They sponsor our player of the game. Bobcats coming off that romp over Fremont last week, 44-10. Skyview 9-0, Mountain Crest 8-0. 2nd and 10, 7 seconds, trips left. A player in the slot and one to the far side.
It's a delay.
So that's costly if they were thinking about throwing it to the end zone, perhaps. That's back to the Mountain Crest 42-yard line. Also tonight, number 13 ranked Logan, the Grizzlies, headed to the playoffs. They're going to have one of the top 2 seeds. They're in Park City. Bunch of action last night. Saw Bingham against Brighton on K-Jazz. 30-0 Miners, the defending champions. Trips left, Schwab in the gun. This could be the last play. He's pressured. He's elusive. He runs it. He skips out of bounds. I think with like a couple of tenths left.
We'll see if they put any time on the clock. It shows zeros right now. I think they're going to put a little more as he got to the 49 of the Bobcats. We'll see what they add to the clock. As he was pressured by Christensen and right up the middle, and then he rolled out and got out of bounds right at the 49 of Skyview, so they've got a shot.
Schwab's cool back there in that pocket. Fine leader. Guys rally around him. He's a proven player. 0.4 of a second.
They've done it before with the Hail Mary. They did it at Roy to win the game. Let's see what the Bobcats, they're in like a 3 deep right now.
Surprised somebody is like counted about the 10-yard line. This will do it for the half. Schwab steps up. Now he's past the line of scrimmage, runs it, and that's going to do it for the first half, I do believe.
Yeah, that will, and we'll see where they mark it. I think he went out of bounds about the 41. So we'll just give him an 8-yard carry, and that will end the half.
My name is Bree Sims. I play center mid on Skyview Soccer. My favorite subject in school is advanced medical anatomy. Thanks, Wendy's. Go Bobcats.
My name is Max. I play defensive end for Skyview football. My favorite subject in school is English. And thank you, Wendy's. Go Bobcats.
It's the High School Game of the Week. Brought to you by Flower Foods in Richmond. They guarantee you'll save on your grocery meat products. By Larry's Pharmacy. Improving health and wellness every chance they get. The Les Olson Company. Your business empowered. By Ludwinski Financial. When you need us, we're there. Locker 42 and the Logo Shop. We logo stuff. By Summit Creek Sinclair. Get your free loyalty card and save big. By Bridgeland Applied Technology College. Employment through training. By Lewiston State Bank. Established for your future. By Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning. Your York heating and air conditioning experts. By Preston Watts Collision and Glass. They do it right. And by Lite FM 103.3.
Bobcats and Mustangs, Week 10, regular season finale of the 2015 Utah High School football season. Bobcats are back on the field, and they're faithful pretty happy about that. The return, 2-0, our only scoring on a safety. With John Newbold, I'm Brad Stone. This is Lite FM, 103.3 FM, 1390 AM dial. And online, our live stream, 1390klgn.com. Just have you along kicking off your football weekend. Yeah, you can catch the Aggies a little later from San Diego. All right, the Mustangs now back on the field as well. Momentum to the locker room, John, with the score 2-0. We've talked about the showing by the Mustangs. What do you think? And what do you think the coaches told their players?
Well, I think, honestly, I think that I think you'd have to give the edge as far as like in the trenches to the Mountain Crest Mustangs, because they've been able to run the ball better than Skyview tonight. And when it comes down to a pass play, then it's different. Then Mountain Crest isn't getting the best blocking. The Skyview's putting some pressure on Schwab, and the passes have gone incomplete for the most part. But I think they've established the run pretty decent, and they will get the ball here in the second half to start things. Mountain Crest will, and so it'll be interesting the adjustments Skyview makes, if any, defensively to get them going, so they can get the ball back to their offense, and hopefully for the Bobcats get something moving, because offensively right now they're getting stopped by the Mountain Crest D. The Garrison can't find anyone deep, and so he's had to go check down on his receivers and ends up going for 5-yard little patterns where the wide receivers have to come back to the football. But that's about all that the Bobcats are getting. Ty had one run of 10 yards once, and Beach had a 10-yard run as well. But other than that, the Bobcats' rush is pretty much non-existent, and really their passing game, because, I mean, they're under 100 yards, I bet, for the first time as far as passing goes in a half this season.
So Mountain Crest, 3 wins by less than a touchdown. 7-0, well, rather, they won by 7 against Highland in Salt Lake City to start the season. That miraculous win against Roy on the Royals' home field, 16-14. The Schwab to Neiman Hail Mary at the gun. And then the big win against Northridge in triple overtime, 37-34. Bobcats have only been behind, to my memory, one time, 12-0 against Roy. In close games, you would think the advantage to Mountain Crest. Skyview hasn't been in this situation nearly as much.
No.
Is there credence to that?
Well, yeah, I think so. I mean, look at Mountain Crest last year. They did have a few injuries, but you look at it last year, they lost those games that were close. That experience, I think, has helped them so that this year, when they had those close games, they can see it. And one of the things that Riley Jensen provided us when he's talking about Schwab and that pocket presence and leadership role is that in the huddle, he says you can see it in his eyes. He's got that quiet confidence that his team knows that they're going to pull out the victory. And I think that in close games, we've seen the difference. But we'll have to see what the Bobcats can do. But Mountain Crest right now, I think, is really in control of this game.
And our friend Eric Olson just brought you a note. Go ahead and read that.
Yeah, Mountain Crest seems to want to make Beach beat them, and so they're rushing only 3, and they've dropped 8 back. So it's up to the Skyview Bobcats to figure out a counter to that and do something that they can get things going here in the second half.
Okay, 2-0 Skyview. Lauer Foods in Richmond, one of our fine sponsors. Also Larry's Pharmacy and the Les Olson Company. Bobcats will go right to left across your dial. Mountain Crest in their white jerseys, orange pants, black helmets. And a heck of a crowd here, a pink out. We see a ton of it. Trying to raise money for breast cancer research. Erickson with the kick. Low squibber hits about the 5, fielded by Hall. Brings it up, broke a tackle, gets knocked down, but he's across the 25. That was a pretty heavy hit by number 11 of the Bobcats on special teams, Braden Dean.
Yeah, that Hall was able to get it out across the 25 to the 27. So is an Erickson kick that bounced, like you said, at the 5, and he was able to field it. It didn't go into the end zone. And one of the bugaboos for Skyview is maybe giving up those big returns. We saw that against Brighton a couple times. So, but the Mountain Crest Mustangs start at their own 27 with that rushing attack that they have.
Trips to the left for Schwab. The Skyview defense. See what they can muster up. Fuller, heck of a run, lunges ahead. He might have 9 yards.
Yeah, Riley Hatterley just holding on to his ankle. If he doesn't hold on to his ankle, maybe he's gone. As Fuller just kept going, copping, and Hatterley just hung on for his life.
I'll tell you what, this Mountain Crew O-line is flexing their muscles, and they have from the get-go. I think they're winning. It might be close, but they're winning the physicality department. That's going to be a Mountain Crest first down. They push him back. I think forward progress gives it to him.
Yeah, there on the tackle, pitcher, and a couple other Bobcats. You saw Durant rip for that football as Fuller had it in there. Durant wrapped him up and was trying to rip that ball loose, and it did kind of jostle, but didn't come loose. And the first down for the Mustangs.
And they took care of time of possession, the advantage in that first half. And they go to work. 1 first down to their credit. As we approach the 11-minute mark, 3rd quarter. Handoff to Fuller. Boy, they converged. A lot of traffic there. Maiden, Christensen, Hatterley, pitcher, by committee.
Yeah, maybe he got back to the line of scrimmage. Yeah, down to the 40, so they actually gain a yard to the 40. 13 carries for Fuller tonight, 45 yards.
Tell you, both teams on this stage, good discipline. Penalties haven't been a factor. We haven't had any turnovers either. 10:15, clock runs, 3rd quarter. And the intensity is picking up. You can just feel with unbeaten seasons on the line. We've got a timeout, and we'll step aside. Back in half a minute on Lite FM. Bobcats and Mustangs. Regular season finale. Winner takes Region 1 and will secure the number 1 seed out of this region in the playoffs that start next week. Loser gets the number 2. Roy has the 3. Fremont the 4. And number 4 in motion, far side is Fuller. DeMooney has a crease. Heck of an effort. He's close to 7, maybe 8 yards.
Yeah, I think there's a Bobcat down on the play. And it looks like he's in a lot of pain, and he is kicking the ground with his legs, so hopefully whoever it is won't be a major injury, but a good run by DeMooney right up the gut. Gets across the 45 to about the 46, 47 yard line.
And so they attend to that injured player. We'll get a number for you here in just a second. Been impressed with how hard DeMooney runs. And he packs quite a wallop, I'll tell you that. 6'2", 2 1/4. Trying to see who might have got hit. I think it was a defensive back. Might have been like a helmet to helmet.
Well, it was someone that came back. They got shot back into the play. They must have gotten blocked or knocked back into the end of that run, because that's where it came. You saw someone fly across to it as we were watching on the replay. Someone got knocked back. It looks like,
I think it's Maiden. He's up now, being talked to. With this stoppage, game management brought to you by the Les Olson Company. Your copiers and printers. He's up, runs off on his own power. Gets a big hand. But yes, the Les Olson Company help your team tackle their work. LesOlson.com or call any of their 7 locations. Your business empowered. 3rd and 3 as we move under 10 minutes. Crowd encouraging their defense to get a stop. Mustangs have it. They bring Fuller in motion near side. Schwab keeps it. He's hit. Ball is loose. Fumbled and recovered by the Mustangs, but the Bobcats finally had the Mustangs put it on the ground.
Yeah, Schwab, as he spun around for the first down, and McCray ripped that out. Alex McCray ripped the ball out as he was going to the turf, and it's recovered by a lineman. So they'll have to punt as that ball shot back. So Alex McCray, it would have been enough for the first down, but McCray ripped that ball back, and it's back at the 42, loss of 5.
All right. So the Mustangs in punt formation. They'll set it up and get it off about the 32. Booming kick. Fair catch is called for. And that's McCray, I do believe.
Yep.
And the Bobcats will have their first possession, 3rd quarter, leading 2-0, and they'll start at their own 26-yard line. So we're trying to get you a score on Logan and Park City. Grizzlies and coach Mike Favero. Since they lost to these two teams, they've won 6 in a row. 9:04 to go, trips near side. Beach with a keeper. Garrison cut down, might have gained a couple of yards.
Yeah, from the 26, they're to mark it up at the 30. So we'll give him 4, but it's like 3.5, really.
Garrison on the season, boy, he's had a propensity to tuck it and go. Over 540 yards, 8 yards a crack and 7 touchdowns. Mason Ty, look at that pursuit. They cut him down. Still goes ahead. That's going to bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, he's trying to get outside, but the Mountain Crest defense is too quick. They're showing their team speed, their athleticism as they're getting to the edge. As Ty tried to get inside, and he bounced it outside. One of the Tulua brothers blocking downfield, but couldn't get outside, only 2 yards.
Demler and Fia part of that 3-4 defense. Pass, Mortensen has it.
He's short.
I think he is short.
Maybe by a yard. We've got a bad angle on it, though. He might be right at the sticks. But if it's 4th and 1, I believe Skyview would go for it. But we'll see, because they are in their territory. It's at the 36. So 4 yards on the pass play. Bring up 4th and 1.
So you got to depend on that O-line to get a crease for somebody. Beach in the gun, flanked by Ty. 3 receivers, far side. Mortensen near side. 4th and a couple. 2-0 Bobcats. You heard correctly. 7:15, 3rd quarter. Here's the punt by Beach. No returner back. Hits. Gets a Skyview bounce. It's going to be right now, actually inside the 20. effective. Mustangs get it back.
Yeah, now here's something we haven't seen. The Bobcats, that's their 5th punt of the evening.
Team averaging 40 points a game. Winning margin, nearly 30. This Mountain Crest team, I've seen them on tape, first time in person. They get your attention. It's a fine looking ball club from Coach Mark Wooten. 7:04 to go. 2-0. Schwab and company setting up shot. Nice fake. Over to Fuller. He's tripped up. Yes, sir. And that is J.R. Martindale.
Yeah, they tried to run the counter, and the Bobcats there just tripped him up. Otherwise, he probably has the corner and a lot of room to roam out there, but no gain.
Off the field for the Bobcats is Bryson Sidaway. So Schwab in this Mountain Crest offense, 39 points a game. We haven't called Neiman's number at all, and again they're having to go without fine player in Bubba Thompson. Schwab rolls right, throws, has a man. Corbett, first down Mustangs across the 40. Pardon me. That was that 82?
Yeah.
Pardon me, let me correct that. It was 82, Creighton Folger. 8th catch on the season. That's a big play and a first down for the Mustangs.
Yeah, 22 yards in a first.
Time of possession, we've talked about it. Mountain Crest is making it work. DeMooney, the big fella. They rip him down. He gains about 3. I thought that might have something going there.
Yeah, I'm not sure who came up to make the tackle as it was on the far east side, but someone came in for the Bobcats quickly. Was it, I think, McRae on the tackle.
Boy, Alex McRazer, one of the top DBs in the state. He's got 6 picks.
Well, the past 2 games, the Mustangs against Skyview hadn't rushed for over 100. They're over 100 now.
5:25 to go. Play fake by Schwab. Pitcher and company run him out. I'll tell you what, Schwab doesn't panic back there. He doesn't have happy feet. Calm and cool, got out of bounds.
Yeah, he did it. Pitcher came off the edge. The block was missed by Fuller. He just couldn't track him down. Schwab showed his speed, and he ran out of bounds as Martindale was trying to track him down. Actually, they mark it behind the line of scrimmage. So a loss of 1 as they forced him out to the 44. Brings up 3rd down.
3rd and 7. Bobcats want to stop. Schwab rolls. They set up a screen. They've got DeMooney. Broke a tackle. Fumble. Ball's loose.
I think it went out of bounds, but DeMooney got up to the 46-yard line, and then someone popped him. That ball shot back and got out of bounds, or Mountain Crest recovered, but they did that throwback screen again, and it was there. Bobcat came through and made the hit. That was McRae maybe, but that ball shot back. It's out at the 38.
So that'll bring up a punting situation on 4th and 13. Bobcats should get decent field position. Here's the kick. It's a low one. It's about the 42. That's going to be blowing dead at the Skyview 25-yard line. Time left, 4:39, 3rd quarter. This Bobcat offense hasn't seen a lot of time. They need to make the most of it. Try to get something going. Mountain Crest dropping 8 into coverage has presented a lot of problems.
Yeah, the only pass really that's there, those 5-yard outs or curl routes. And we'll see if the Bobcats keep going to it.
Our first look at Jamal Danes. 4 wide. Garrison fakes, looking, rushed, got away, underthrew a receiver. No, sir, they strung it out. I'll tell you what, great coverage.
Yeah, that's the thing. The Bobcats all season, their wide receivers are great targets because they do a great job getting open, but they haven't been able to against this Mountain Crest secondary. And the time was there for Beach, and then at the last second it breaks down, and then he throws a pass where a wide receiver's coming back to it, and it falls incomplete. So the Bobcats signal caller having one of his, I guess, worst games, but it's because the Mountain Crest secondary is doing such a good job.
And we haven't seen this all year. Trips near side. Garrison finds Mortensen. Got a block. Scoots through. Going to be about 3 yards shy of a first.
Yeah, they did this short screen, and usually Mortensen's the one blocking. This time they get him the ball quickly, and he gets blocks downfield by Holbrook and others. And the Bobcats get out to the 33-yard line, a gain of 8.
Bobcats have to be frustrated. Just can't get it going, and they see this clock going down and leading 2-0. Here's Ty, and boy, they stopped him. Man, oh man, outstanding pursuit.
Yeah, that time the Bobcats tried something. There's nothing there. They haven't had it all night with Ty. So I don't know why that play call, you even call that, to be honest, on 3rd and short, because there's nothing there all night. They haven't been able to establish the run. He gained a yard, it looks like, but, I mean, there's just nothing there for Ty.
And body language, I'll tell you what, Mountain Crest feeling very good about things, thinking, hey, now a flag comes in. Sideline warning. Hall and Thomas, the returners. And now we've got McCray to set up instead of Ty. Not sure why. Coach Ander wants an explanation. He's not too happy about that. Join us afterwards for our post-game show. John will have the honor. Here's McCray. Got it off. Hits about the 38. It's a Skyview bounce. Picked up by Thomas. Broke free for a second. Now the Bobcats inundate him. Mountain Crest will have it inside their own 30. Quarters moving along. Mason Ty comes in. He's playing defense.
Well, they've got to get something going on there. Maiden, remember, got knocked out earlier, so maybe he's still not recovered from whatever the injury was. But a gain of about 6 on the return after the punt by McCray.
The Skyview faithful getting a little anxious here. 2-0. Their team has the lead, but things have not been going well. Schwab in the gun, looks to throw, has time, airs it out. It is incomplete. Woody Udy back in coverage. They tried to hit Dallas Neiman.
Yeah, Udy was there, stride for stride, and then he turned. It was a good spot for Schwab to throw it to. He put it the only place that it could. It's either a catch or it's incomplete, because it was just out of the outstretched hands of Neiman. They put it in the right spot. It wasn't inside, where the safety McCray, who is a ball hawk this year on interceptions, could have been there to pick it off.
2:53. We're in the third quarter. Mustangs bring a player in motion near side. Schwab to throw. Has a man. Tackle by Alex McCray, and the hit on Neiman, their big-time receiver.
Yeah, to 36. I'll tell you, the Bobcats that time, Brad, they almost got to Schwab's arm, an 8-yard pass play. But the way they've been running the ball, they're in a good position. They could probably get this on 3rd and short.
No sacks tonight.
Well, that
officially.
Yeah, that time.
The safety.
Yeah, that time they got in there, but they just couldn't get it. Maiden's back in there on the D-line for the Bobcats.
Big play here. Mountain Crest at their own 36. 3rd and 2. And they drew them off.
They did what Skyview always does, and when Skyview usually does that, they're in shotgun with Beach. That time, he's over the center, Schwab, and so that cadence, he's right there by the D lineman, right in their ear, and they all jumped right there in front of him. It'll be an automatic first down.
So this game 2 unbeatens, 2 highly ranked teams, and the stakes don't get much higher than this.
A lot of people expected a shootout, but at the same time, they're both good defenses, so maybe not too big of a surprise, but it's just a weird-looking score because both teams can score so much, Brad.
Biggest game in a long time. We'll harken back to '87 when they played for a state championship. Here's DeMooney. Tremendous play. The big fella, Colton Durant, said no, sir.
Yeah, Durant. Give pitcher a lot of credit, though. He was fighting off a blocker and actually stood him up, and then Durant finished him off, stripping for that football. DeMooney had to fall down right at the 40, a loss of 1 for the Mustangs.
We haven't had a turnover yet, but you just see it so many times. The game is decided with a miscue.
Well, and I mean, look, that's what the difference in the score is a miscue. Whatever it was, now we're hearing maybe it wasn't intentional grounding. It could have been a chop block, but that's the difference.
2-0, 2nd and 11. We're under a minute left in the third. The play fake. Schwab looking, throwing. Not even close to the would-be receiver, Woody Udy, in coverage, and he smothered Cade Cooper.
Yeah, and he knocked him to the turf. The Bobcats came through and hit Schwab, and so it's going to be 3rd and 11 nearing the end of the third quarter here with 48 seconds. A big 3rd down. You need some momentum going into the 4th quarter on your home field. Can Skyview get the stop here? Look for that throwback screen.
Yes, that's worked before, and DeMooney's been a big factor. Empty backfield, trips left. Couple in the slot. 48 ticks left, third quarter. Huge play. Schwab with all kinds of room has us Mountain Crest first down. Heads up play. It's like the sea parted.
Well, they called that was a design quarterback draw, and they knew Skyview would be pinning their ears back coming in on the blitz, and they did on the 3rd and long, and that's just a good play call. Gets to the 48 of Skyview, and a first down of 12 yards for Schwab.
Preston Watts Auto Body and Collision, 2 locations, Logan and Smithfield. Check them out. Also thanks to Ludwinski Financial. Get a hold of Dave first thing Monday. Schwab hands off to Mooney. Slices through, they trip him up. That's going to be about 4 yards.
Yeah, they mark it up at the 44, so it will be 4 yards at the end of the third quarter.
Who would have thunk it? 2-0. 3 quarters in the books. We're going to hit the home stretch, and we're back in 60. On the home of the Bobcats, this is Lite FM. Bobcats Mustangs run by Fuller. He's going to be shy of a first. That's going to bring up 3rd and 2, maybe 3. As we enter the 4th quarter, it's 2-0. Only points on a safety. First quarter. Bobcat players trying to exhort their hometown fans.
Well, the fans have been involved in the game. They have blocks of wood in the student section they're hitting together, but it hasn't done anything. The Bobcat defense needs a stop.
Mountain Crest, we talked about it at the length. Shorten the game. Here's DeMooney, stopped. Stockton Bowman in. He lunges. He's going to be short.
Yeah, I think they stopped him. Bowman hit him and just wrapped up on him. But he still pushed forward. That's how strong and how good DeMooney is. They mark it right in front of the 40, so half a yard is all he got, so we'll just put the no gain. But he's right there. What does Mountain Crest do? At this point in the game, just starting the 4th quarter, about a yard and a half shy of a first down.
They bring in their kicker, Zachary Smith.
Well, look, gotta make sure they get it away.
Inside the 40. Blocked it! They block it! The ball is up! It's It's loose. The Bobcats have it. What a play on special teams. Is that Max Christensen and Durant?
It was Durantula with the block right up the gut, and that gets the Skyview faithful involved. Mountain Crest had some big gaps on the line, and then they were just able to get it there. The block right up the middle, Durantula got it. It went straight up and straight down. So the Bobcats have life at the 49 of the Mustang. Could this be the turning point, Brad?
Boy, you've been waiting. You had to know that something would break. Special teams. We'll see if they can capitalize. Here's Beach. Runs it. Has 4, maybe 4.5.
Yeah, unbelievable play by Durant. 4 yards for Beach up the gut. And there's a slow to get up Bobcat player.
That's number 70.
Is that Barry Hill?
That's Barry Hill, the center.
Well, that could play huge. You don't want to lose your center. We saw at the start of the year how many snaps Skyview struggled with at the start of the year, and then Barry Hill stepped in and has done a fine job the rest of the season for the Bobcats. But you hate to lose him for an extended amount of time. Hopefully he's all right and can continue after maybe resting a couple plays, Brad.
Senior night for the Bobcats. And what a bunch. I think for years and years, people will look back on this 2015 team, what they've accomplished, and just what great kids. And, you know, it has to be bittersweet for Coach Ander and also across the way, Coach Wooten. His seniors been so important to this program. Players still being tended to. Barry Hill. 10:07 to play here on KLGN Radio. And thanks to the Valley Channel as well. Be sure and catch the replay. Summit Creek Sinclair here in Smithfield, one of our sponsors. And Locker 42, you've heard us talk about all season, their Locker 42 program involving kids in an upcoming Aggie game, and I think it's fantastic. If you'd like more information, check out locker42.com.
Well, here we go, Brad. The shotgun formation with a new center.
And boy, you look back early season, problems with the exchange. Beach throws, led his man too far, had Holbrook, and that might have been 6.
Well, Beach had to let it go early as the pressure came by Mountain Crest. Ty picked up the edge, but then that pressure came up the middle, knocked Beach to the turf as he let it go. And now you're at 3rd and 5, Brad, after that great punt and good field position, or great blocked punt and field position for Skyview.
Boy, Skyview has been pretty conservative. This 3-man rush, dropping all the players in coverage. You can see how much trouble it's presenting. Garrison under duress, heaves it up. It could have been picked.
It's a tie to the offense. If it's a tie, we'll have to see. It's either a catch or an interception. We'll see. The official right there, Mountain Crest jumping as it's on the sideline. But if it's a tie, it goes to Skyview. If it's a tie, it's a Skyview reception.
Cross coaches across
It's going to be a catch on Skyview, I think, to Holbrook. Yep, they're marking it, Brad. That's a Skyview catch, I think.
Double coverage.
And it was Holbrook. If he has it, it's got to be a catch because the tie goes to the offensive player. They did it. They're going to give him a 20-yard catch to Holbrook.
And so the referees taking their time. You know, Mountain Crest not happy with the call any way, shape, or form. But that's the rule.
That's the rule. Mountain Crest was inside. The defender was. Holbrook went over the top, and he must have got enough of it that the official said. They're marking it as a catch right now unless something changes. The replay we saw, you could see the Mountain Crest defender on the inside, but Holbrook went over the top and maybe got enough of it, so they had to call it a tie. They already marked it that way. Let's see if they change it.
Huge call here. Holding declined. First down, Skyview.
Well, I didn't even see a penalty marker, but then they say it's holding. But that was on the Mountain Crest sideline, and everyone was jumping up and down. And Holbrook must have gotten enough, but a 20-yard pass play, Will Beach just threw it up, and the prayer was answered.
So the Bobcats close to the red zone, leading 2-0 with 9:43 to go in this game. Unbeaten seasons on the line. The region title on the line. And here's Garrison Beach. Nice maneuver! Scoots through, close to a first down. His most effective run of the night.
Well, at the time in the game, now that time he was it was a designed run, but he's coming to the right on a sweep, and then as he got outside, nothing there. He cut back inside, got enough for the first down at the 13-yard line. I think the 14-yard line. I'll give him 11.
And a heck of a block by big number 61, Talua, to help spring him. Here's another run by Beach. Short gain in the red zone. They'd love to knock it in here, leading 2-0. That's not a lot of breathing room. This Mountain Crest defense, so stellar all year.
Well, when you look at this drive, you had the block punt by Durant that set up things, and then that call at the 25, they gave it to the Bobcats. Now they're at the 11-yard line.
That call will be talked about for a long time if it turns the game here. 8:40 to play in the contest. Beach play action. Looks, throws over the head of Holbrook. He had him, and Garrison is upset with himself.
Yeah, just a crossing route. Holbrook's wide open. Beach absolutely overthrows him. That's 6 for the Bobcats if he's on target. He was wide open at the 5, and he overthrew him by a mile. He's got to make that. Beach usually does, and you saw him hit his helmet right afterwards with both hands. He knew that he missed him. Holbrook was open.
Play of the game, 3rd and 8. Knocking at the door, up 2-0. He's pressured. He throws in and out of the hands of Nate Phillips. Good defense, and that's going to bring up 4th and 8.
Yeah, McRae out there diving with one arm, almost pulled it in. So you got to go for the field goal here, because then you don't lose if Mountain Crest gets in field goal range to kick it and make it a 3-2 advantage for Mountain Crest. So Erickson's on for about a 29-yarder.
Yes, indeed, Erickson. Snap, hold, kick. Good. 5-0. What a quarter. 3-point field goal. Erickson a 29-yarder. The block punt looms large by Durant. That pass that we thought might be a pick, but they ruled tie goes to the offense. Holbrook got enough of it, but Beach overthrew a receiver and they couldn't knock it in, had to settle for a field goal. And so the Mustangs, who were used to close games, and we've got a dandy, no touchdowns, with 2 teams that have hammered people by close to 30 a game. Not tonight. Here's the kick. It's going to hit about the 15. Took a bounce. Touched. That might have been a mistake. Now he breaks free. Still going. They better get him down. What a heck of a run. And that could have been disastrous. Number 23 with it, Colton Ferguson.
Yeah, great job by Ferguson. He was able to get near the 20, but they give it to the 18-yard line as he fumbled it around the 14 and then just kept spinning out of plays. We got a score update in that Utah State game. Utah State in the first quarter, they trailed 14-0 in that first quarter to San Diego State on the road.
Yeah, I looked at you like, oh, come on now. Maybe a little letdown. Maybe the Aztecs are for real. Both teams unbeaten at 3-0 in the league. Here's Schwab, rolls right. Throws, caught. DeMooney tripped up by Hatterley. It's going to be close to a first, might be a tad short, but an effective play on first.
Oh, no, and DeMooney's still down as he was tackled by Hatterley by the ankle. Ah, nuts. hate to see any athlete get hurt.
Boy, he fell right on his ankle.
Yes, there wasn't anything, nasty in it.
No.
It just came down on him. Hopefully it's a cramp. The way they're stretching him, that's what it looks like. So hopefully that's all it is and not something worse.
Boy, he's a good-looking player, I'll tell you. Only a junior. Lavani Damouni. 6'2", 225. Cougars and Aggies looking at him as a linebacker. 8 minutes exactly. Brad Stone and John Newbold. What a way to kick off your football weekend. And next week, the playoffs begin. Both these teams will represent Region 1. They'll be joined by the Roy Royals and Fremont as well. We'll be with you every step of the way. What a night.
Well, he is walking off.
Gingerly.
Very much so. Hopefully, it looks like he is putting a little pressure. I hope it's just a cramp, which it looked like when they were stretching him out. But yeah, hopefully that's all it is. But it brings up a second down and short, as it was a good pass play to Damouni over the middle. He was wide open, Brad.
At their own 26, 8 minutes to go. It's 5-0. Big stays tonight for these two unbeatens. First time that's happened this late in the season for these two schools. Over the top, that's a big first down. That was a heck of an effort, let me tell you that.
Yeah, Fuller got across as they marked him at the 30. I thought he actually got across to the 31, but they mark it at the 30-yard line.
This O-line, they've got some size, and I'll tell you what, they have flexed their muscles. The Skyview front four, one of the best, if not the, in the state. They've been put to a test that they haven't seen this season.
Well, they've averaged 8 sacks against Mountain Crest. There you go.
Durant, who's making a heck of a case for player of the game, I'll tell you that.
Durant busted through on the counter play, and Fuller was wrapped up and taken down for a loss. Big loss. Where'd they mark it? At the 26-yard line, loss of 4.
I think right now you'd have to give it to Durant. Block punt, he's been a terror. Also on that O-line.
Yeah, going both ways there. So, but second down and long.
Second and 14 for Schwab. Drops to throw. He's pressured. He got away from pitcher, and now he dances. Look at this kid. He might, late hit.
Well, it's the right call, Brad, because good, smart play by Schwab as he slid forward, and so you got to protect the quarterback, and the official finally threw the flag, and that was the right call as the Bobcats jumped on him afterwards. But give him credit. Look at the shiftiness as he got around Maiden, pitcher, Christensen, and then he slid forward. So they mark it off. That's the right call. So it'll be a late hit after the run.
They got Durant. A little too overzealous. Just trying to make a play. That's a big play. It's going to put the Mustangs at their own 42 with a 1st and 10. 6.5 minutes. Clock moves. You can just feel the tension. This thing's going to build to a climax. Schwab has been so good. Very impressed. Rolls left.
Holding!
And gotta get a hold on Christensen. Pass is caught, but that's going to be to no avail.
Yeah, it's coming back easily. Max Christensen came through a double team and got absolutely tackled. Look at that. He's tackled by 2 of the defenders, so the catch is going to be coming back as it was a pass down to the 35, and it will be a holding and coming back.
Yep. You gotta know that these Skyview defenders at front four, they're frustrated. They want to get Schwab, and Max with a great hustle, and you can't blame the Mustangs for trying to help their quarterback.
Well, he came so quick off the edge. I mean, he split that double team and got twisted up and pulled around. So I think it was an easy call. The head referee didn't. It was the linesman over here that made the call.
1st and 26. If you're the Mustangs, don't do anything drastic here. You've got plenty of time. Take 3 or 4 plays to get it. Schwab to throw. Nice move by Max Christensen. Still can't get him. Look at this Schwab. He is so elusive.
Yeah, Christensen's been coming hard outside. That time he spun on the offensive lineman, came back inside, but Schwab was looking right at it and was able to escape and get around pitcher and get on the edge. And he gets positive yards out to the 32 as the D line is starting to take over maybe a little bit, but to give Schwab credit, Brad, he's getting out of those pass rushes, but the clock continues to roll. Oh, he got out of bounds, so it's stopped at 5:37.
2nd and 20. Our score, 5-0. Bobcats are pitching a shutout. It just doesn't feel like it. One play could turn this around and give Mountain Crest the lead. He had a receiver in Neiman. A little too far for Schwab.
Well, if you're Skyview fans right now, you're shaking in your boots because that one's 6. Neiman had beaten the defense and just overthrown by Schwab, but we've seen that from both quarterbacks tonight. Beach has had receivers open and overthrows them as well. So you're talking 3rd and forever, Brad. The Bobcats on defense, you just don't need a stupid penalty at this point to give them extra yards or one more down. You've got to get the stop and not give up a big play.
3rd and 20, 5:31 left. He's got protection, now he rolls left. Schwab throws, has a man in and out of the hands of number 11. Cooper had to turn back for it. It was there.
I'll tell you, the reason the wide receivers are getting open, Brad, is because when Schwab is getting pressured, he's made some positive yards rushing out of the pocket. So now you've got the DBs and safeties looking back into the backfield, and they're losing contain of where their receiver is. And that's how the Mountain Crest receivers are getting open. The Bobcats dodging bullets right now.
Yes, they are. Smith on to punt. Bobcats don't have a returner. Here's the kick. It's going to bounce, I'm sure. Phillips up for the fair catch. Ooh, boy, he was about the only Bobcat in the vicinity. Caught it. And the Bobcats will have it. Good field position at their own 43.
Yeah, Alex McRae really, I don't know if he's upset. He ripped his helmet off, trying to get the crowd pumped up or something. This Bobcat team, can they get something to give them some cushion?
Well, I tell you, they need a couple of first downs. They need to eat up some of this clock and do not turn it over. Because you know Mountain Crest going to want to strip it. Now they threaten blitz. And here's Beach. DeMooney off the edge. Good to see him back in there. And I tell you what, he had a burst to get to number 10.
Well, it's nice that he's back in there, and I guess it was just cramps. That's important. It's nice to see. But Beach just up the middle, gets to 46, just a gain of 3, but the clock now running for the Bobcats.
4:45, 2nd and 7. Beach in the gun, tie the back. 5-0. The winner takes the Region 1 title and gets the number 1 seed out of this region for the playoffs. Garrison pressured. He rolls and they cut him down. Great pursuit, number 24. That's Taylor Demler.
Yeah, back at the 41, it looked like Skyview was setting up a screen. It wasn't there. Beach tried to get out to the left side and get sacked for the first sack of the game back at the 41, a loss of 5.
Jamal Danes in the ball game for Mason Ty. So that's going to bring up 3rd and long for the Bobcats at their own 40.
Yeah.
Big play here. Trips near side. Mortensen, Holbrook, and McCray, and timeout Skyview. We need to catch our breath as well. Back in half a minute. Thanks for being a part of the Bobcats and Mustangs epic battle to end the regular season. 2 unbeaten teams. And what an atmosphere, fantastic crowd, and it's a privilege to be a part of it. I'm Brad Stone, joined by John Newbold. 3:45 left, 3rd and 13. You can just feel the tension mount. Beach throws, it's caught, but they're going to be short.
Yeah, you're short, but it brings up 4th down at midfield or just across midfield. It'll be 4th and short. Big decision for the Bobcats here. Do you try to go for it or not? As it's to the 49.
Beach so adept at pulling people offside. If you're the Mustangs, you have to be disciplined. Garrison looks over, 3:40 left. It's 4th and a long 2. Beach calls for the ball, has it, kicks it. Boy, they brought pressure. That could have been a block. It bounces. Can they get it? No. McCray was down there, touchback. Mustangs will have it 80 yards away with 3.5 minutes. Down a touch. It's 5-0. Man, oh man. You okay, John? You're gonna need, I'd have to sedate you.
I don't know. It's exactly, I mean, again, you had a lot of people say that it could be one way or the other. It could be a shootout, and it's turned into a defensive battle. And right now, you've got a safety, and then the blocked punt by Durant that has put Skyview where they have the lead 5-0 with 3.5 to go. Mountain Crest, is this their last drive, maybe, if they don't score here?
3:32. Buckle up. Pitch to DeMooney. He's going to throw. He's hit. Throws. It's there. It is incomplete. McCray.
Well,
McCulloch.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that call.
McCray turns around at the last second and knocks that away. DeMooney got crushed as he threw it, I believe, by Mason Ty. He did, and he threw it trying to get downfield. McCray knocks it down at the last second, right at midfield. So the Bobcats get it away from that one. That was a good throw by DeMooney, though.
Yes, it was. 2nd and 10. Clock stopped at 3:24. Oh, brother. You gotta love this. Schwab to throw, steps up, has room, has incomplete. DeMooney would have had a first down at the 35. Couldn't corral it.
Well, DeMooney had the pass as Schwab was flushed into that pocket. He got hit by Christensen as he threw. DeMooney just took his eyes off and kind of looked around, and it went right through his hands. So now it's 3rd down and 10 yards to go at the 20. They haven't moved the ball at all. Now it's a passing situation for Mountain Crest, I would assume. The Bobcat corners have got to be stout and keep their eyes on the receiver and not look into the backfield.
The sack view high. They would love nothing more than to get one here. Schwab has other ideas. It is thrown. I thought it bounced. Incomplete. Now Coach Wooten has a heck of a decision.
Well, I'll tell you what, that time the Bobcats, they just let Schwab stay in the pocket, and they didn't rush at all. They just took the 4 men and just got that pocket, made him throw it from the pocket instead of flushing him out. So now you're almost forced to punt, I would think. The Bobcats can't run into the punter here. You've got to make sure he kicks it away. Right now, I wouldn't even send a rush, just let him kick it. Don't do something stupid if you're the Bobcats.
I like that call by defensive coordinator Cam Johnson. Here's the Davis punt. As Durant did like a whirly bird. Here's McCray with the return. Broke a tackle, good special teams coverage by the Mustangs.
Yeah, Colton Durant, that wall was set up there, and he went airborne to try to block it. Again, get a second block. That time he got flipped over. Glad he's okay. And the Skyview Bobcats, McCray made sure he caught it, and there's a Mustang, I believe, that's down there as McCray didn't call for the fair catch, got from the 46, ran it up to about the 48. You can see McCray how animated he is. He was pretty jacked about this game. He was looking forward. The quote that I saw, he was saying, "Hey, I've been waiting 3 years for this senior night game." And so he's looking forward to it with 3:01 remaining. The thing that's against the Bobcats, though, they haven't been able to keep a drive going or chew up clock with the run game.
Tonight's contest on Lite FM brought to you by Lewiston State Bank. Established for your future, established way back in 1905. They sponsor our player of the game, and we've got some candidates. And number 72 could be the leader in the clubhouse. Colton Durant's had a big night.
Well, you have to with the blocked punt because that at least got him 3 more points. That's Cyril Hall, I believe, that's walking off. Hopefully that's not a serious injury and that he can, if he doesn't get back in this one, at least for the Mountain Crest playoffs, whatever seed they are, that he can continue on.
Bobcats O-line. They need to step up, protect Beach. If you run it, you got to have a first.
Well, you got to wrap up too. You got to make sure you contain that, wrap that football up. Don't give it away.
3:01 left, 5-0 Bobcats. Here's Beach. Garrison tripped up. Heads up play by DeMooney to prevent a first.
Well, not only a first, but maybe 6. If you watch the replay here, Brad, on the TV game of the week, they will be posted on Cache Valley Daily. He got up there to the 45 of Mountain Crest. He was off to the races.
Good blocking by the Bobcats. Clock runs. It's their ally, 2:35, up 5 in this 35th all-time meeting for the Region 1 title to keep an unbeaten season going. Beach, short.
Yeah, he got up there, and he's going to be about a yard shy, depending on where they spot that football. He was at the 44, the line of scrimmage. I think he got one to the 43. Clock continues to go down and tick away. This is a huge 3rd down because a first down by Skyview will keep that clock turning. Oh, Beach is hurt, Brad. He's holding his arm.
Hate to see this.
It doesn't look like it's his throwing arm. It's his left arm, I think, that he's kind of holding. I mean, the Bobcats, he was hurt earlier, you know, against Roy. He's banged up, but now it looks like he's holding his arm. So 1:57 remaining. As they take a timeout, the referees do to stop the clock with an injured player. We'll have to see if he can get up. Skyview will have to use a timeout if they want to keep him in. Otherwise, it's going to be Jackson Sidaway coming in, I believe, as the backup quarterback. And he was dinged a couple games ago, too, or he got dinged in practice, right? So we'll see what they run here. And you put Sidaway in and into a ball game like this with that kind of magnitude on the line, the region championship, you got to hang on to that football, Brad.
And, of course, his dad, Doug Beach, former Aggie, he's out there as well. Naturally very concerned. You can't say enough about Beach, his character, what kind of a player he is, leader of this team. And he's up and will walk off under his own power.
Yeah, he'll walk off on his own power, but it's his arm that you've got to be worried about. It wasn't the leg. He was holding his left arm. I mean, going forward in the playoffs, look, he's kind of holding that to the side as he took a shot in that scrum. Clock runs now.
1:50 to play, 5-0, it's 3rd and 2. Big moment for number 33, Jackson Sidaway. They've got Durant back there, Ty. This is quite the formation. Take care of the football at 1:35. Timeout Skyview. We'll keep it right here. John, we haven't had stats in a while. I know you don't have many to throw us, not a lot of yards, but take it.
Well, to start off with, I don't know. I've got them, how about that? I've got each team for 202 on total offense. I mean, that's the best I can give you right now. The Bobcats rushing the ball, I've got them for 64 yards, so they really haven't gotten up to where they're accustomed to being. But, you know, lots of credit to the Mustangs defense as they have really held Skyview in check.
5-0. What a tremendous game. Credit to both sides. All the kids laying it on the line. And it's been a clean game.
Yeah.
Pretty much mistake-free.
It really has come. I mean, from what we've seen earlier games this season, it really has. I mean, we can't say that for the Mountain Crest games. We haven't been to those, but the Skyview games, I mean, the flags we've seen from their opponents and from Skyview all season, it's been crazy. And Beach, I thought he was coming back in after the timeout, but no, Sidaway's in there still. And now it's McCray.
Alex McCray in the gun. I think they moved. Ty moved. Back them up 5. All of a sudden, 3rd and short goes to 3rd and 7 with 1:33.
Yeah, that's big right there. You're talking 3rd and about 1.5 yards, and now you're going to be 6 yards, 3rd and 6. They'll put some more time on the clock. But yeah, that false start's huge by Ty as he just started a little bit forward. If he just kind of would have ran in motion, maybe he would have gotten away with it, but he just kind of stutter stepped and then stopped. And so that's what it is.
Okay. We can hear the Mountain Crest coaches saying, Mortensen.
Well, that's where they've gone.
Watch number 13.
Well, that's where they've gone all night, is when they've needed something. So we'll see if Beach can come in, but I think it's going to be Sidaway in there.
Do you dare throw it? I don't think so at this
Well,
juncture. You got a great defense. Take your poison. Make them use some timeouts and get a decent punt and back them up.
Well, Sidaway's in there, Brad, not McCray.
I would be stunned if they throw. Sidaway, hands to Ty, nothing doing. No, sir. Can't blame Coach Andrew for that strategy.
No, they stopped the clock. Ty got to the 50. Or are they going to mark it at the 49? No, just across midfield. So, and it's going to be a loss of 2 yards on that play to Ty. So,
before the game, if you would have told Mark Wooten you're going to have the last possession, a touchdown will give you the lead, I think he would have taken it about every time.
Well, yeah, I mean, right now you're just looking at that blocked punt by Durant, because that got Skyview in field goal range. They should have probably punched it in for 6. You would have liked that. But with the field goal, and it gave it a 5-0, so now Mountain Crest has to go the length of the field. They have to get in the end zone. So the field goal won't do them good, but McCray's out there for the punt, Brad.
Okay, you want a good exchange naturally. You don't want any problems here. To return it is Thomas. Alex McCray will set it up at his own 40. Good snap. Here's the kick. Not very long. It's high. It bounces.
Well, that's kick interference. So I think that's a personal foul. That will be 15 yards if it is a catch interference. So we'll have to see. I know that it's 15 yards at the college level. I don't know what it is at high school, but someone bumped the returner as he was trying to come up and make the catch. The punt landed at the 23-yard line, but if you tack on 15, that's going to be at the 38. We'll have to see what the call is. I don't know what it is in high school, Brad, but it was catch interference.
McCray can't believe it. Referees confer. Coach Anders holding the arms up like, excuse me?
Well,
You're right, John. I think it is going to be 15 yards.
Well, they moved it up to the 36.
117. Here we go. Trips near side. Schwab in the gun. What a finish. Fans stand. Schwab throws. Incomplete. He had Fulger.
It was behind him and then almost picked off by the Bobcats. It was thrown behind. So the Mustangs have one timeout. The Bobcats have one timeout with 1:13 to go, Brad. And Mustangs need a touchdown. They've had a Hail Mary this season. Both teams have had one at Roy, but the Mustangs got one to get the victory.
Kids live for this. Fans, broadcasters, everybody. 2nd and 10. Mustangs at their 37. Schwab, who's been so tough when he runs out of there, they just can't get him. And he scoots out, stops the clock, close to a first. This kid is cool.
Well, I'll tell you, the Bobcats, they've only been rushing 3, and they're dropping people back. And so Schwab cut through the middle of them and then got up to the 42. It's only a 6-yard gain, so it's 3rd down.
Remember that throw by DeMooney? There's something in that playbook.
Well, you've got 2 downs to get a 1st down if you're Mountain Crest with 1:05.
Brother, here we go. Late in the game. Schwab to throw. Folger, 1st down, breaks free. He's across the 45. Heck of a play.
Well, they mark him down at the Skyview 41. A great play. They just kind of cleared it out across the middle, and then a 17-yard pass play. They got to line up because as soon as it's set, it's going to be ready for play, Brad.
50 seconds. Schwab to throw, steps up. They finally got him.
That was Pitcher.
Jake Pitcher. Timeout, Mustangs. We will keep it right here at an opportune time. Skyview with the stop. I'll tell you, Schwab has just been so difficult to catch. And he's made positive yards. Heady player, and that's a big one.
Well, he jumped up there and then finally taken down by Pitcher as he was trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. He's going to be stopped for a yard loss, but you know, and I'll tell you, you knew it could come down to the last play. Maybe not the score you expected at 5-0, but whoever has the ball last, could they win? It's coming down to a great ending here in Smithfield for the region title with 46 seconds. No timeout for Mountain Crest.
They're at the Bobcat 41.
You can't get beat deep. You've got 3 deep back there for the Bobcats. Don't let it get behind you.
5 wide. Bad snap. It's loose. Skyview. I think the Bobcats have it.
It's Max Christensen, Brad, and that will do it because there's no timeouts for Mountain Crest. The Skyview Bobcats are going to survive.
Maximus Bain, the only miscue by Mountain Crest, and Max is there to seal the deal.
Unbelievable.
Wow. Pandemonium. A packed house in Smithfield.
Just remember though, even though it's a botched snap, if you're the Bobcats, you've got to collect yourself. It's not over yet. Just like that fumble, the Bobcats could fumble as well on an exchange. You've got to make sure you secure the football. And remember, Beach isn't in the ball game unless Beach is out there now, Brad, so he's okay. But that miscue could seal the deal.
Can you say take a knee?
Well, they're in
3 of them.
They're in shotgun.
Low snap, Beach had it. 35 seconds. Bobcats are going to do it. They're going to dodge a bullet. What a gritty, gutty effort by Mountain Crest. And they gave the Bobcats fits. 20 seconds. Mission accomplished. We'll let the fans take over from here.
It's the High School Game of the Week. Brought to you by Flower Foods in Richmond. They guarantee you'll save on your grocery meat products. By Larry's Pharmacy. Improving health and wellness every chance they get. The Les Olson Company. Your business empowered. By Ludwinski Financial. When you need us, we're there. Locker 42 and the Logo Shop. We logo stuff. By Summit Creek Sinclair. Get your free loyalty card and save big. By Bridgeland Applied Technology College. Employment through training. By Lewiston State Bank. Established for your future. By Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning. Your York heating and air conditioning experts. By Preston Watts Collision and Glass. They do it right. And by Lite FM 103.3.